Hello, this is Paul. I'm going to talk about high rocket construction today. This rocket I built about 8 years ago, and I built it to fly at, I think it was LDRS 17 in the Bonneville Salt Flat in Utah. And it was the first rocket that I ever fiberglassed the tube, or tried to fiberglass the tube, and it's all lumpy. It's like Lumpy the rocket is what I call it. The motor configuration, 54 millimeter core surrounded by 4 29 millimeter motors. Well, there we go. To finish it, I just took it to a auto body speed shop where they make custom paint jobs for cars, and I had the guy paint it as it's called King Rat. That was the name of the rocket, and it's really cool. He's got his rat coming out of the rocket, and he's got eyes and a mouth. I wanted it to look more like the mouth you'd see on a Navy Corsair fighter. But now that's a problem. You take your rocket to somebody else to paint, it loses its personality of the owner, of the builder. I'd never do this again. It was a mistake. It costs a lot of money. And the rocket is very, very lumpy. Now, I plan to fly it again soon, either this year or next, and I'm going to fly it with a 54 millimeter core and then igniting 4 outboard motors using Xavier electronics, and it will work correctly. But I'm going to tell you what happened the first time I flew it. I really thought I was hot shit, and I went out to the playa. I went out to Utah, and I flew it at LDRS 17, and it was one of the first flights, and everyone spent all this time looking at it because it's a fantastic paint job, and I took pictures of it. When it came time to fly, I was going to use a central 54 millimeter motor start on the ground with an igniter, and then air start with thermalite or something, having the thermalite come up and ignite the four 29 millimeter motors, which were H55s. So it had 4 H's in it and a K. And instead of doing it that way, and by the way, I was really dumb. The 54 millimeter motor had no ejection. It was one of those 54 millimeter motors that Aerotech makes that are plugged. So I didn't have, the only kind of electronics I knew about or had at that time was just a perfect flight like altimeter. So I brought it to the pad, and instead of doing it my way, what happened was I was given advice by somebody in Aeropack who just started a business making a new launch control system. And this launch control system, he promised would light all 5 motors at once and give every motor super juice, and it would just work perfectly. And so instead of doing it my way, I took advice from the expert. And I went out there, and when it launched, what happened was the central core motor didn't launch. The 4 outside motors launched. And so it went up and then just fell over because it was too heavy. It fell into the mud, the horrible salt mud of the Bonneville Salt Flats, and broke a fin. And the guy who was on the mic, he was really cute because it was the very beginning of LDRS, and he said, "Oh, look at that one. That's a terrible job. That's funny." And it was totally funny, and the crowd laughed, and he dissed me, he made fun of me when it ditched in the mud. And I went out there and I had to haul it out of the mud, and I've repaired it. And I wouldn't build a rocket like this now. I wouldn't build a rocket like this now because, it's on a bungee cord, and, it just wouldn't work. And, anyway, so Lumpy the rocket will fly again, and I'll save the notes and keep that on my desk. And Lumpy the rocket, you'll be seeing it sometime soon, and it's called Lumpy. And that's it for today. Thank you.